Hey, everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, you're probably still trying to catch your breath after that nail-biter of a Thanksgiving game. And if you're a Chicago Bears fan, well, you might need a whole week to process what just happened. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends because we're about to dive into one of the wildest, most dramatic finishes you'll ever see. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. The game changer. Alright, here we go. Detroit Lions vs Chicago Bears. Thanksgiving Day. And what looked like a surefire victory for the Lions, until, well, it almost wasn't. The Lions hadn't won a Thanksgiving game since 2016. So Detroit fans were already sweating bullets just thinking about another year of holiday heartbreak. But they didn't just scrape by. They almost had it snatched away from them by none other than the Bears. Now, before you start thinking this is a tale of Lions dominance, you should know it's really a story of the Bears blowing a huge opportunity. The Bears had a timeout left. They were down by 3. And the game was winding down to the final seconds. What do? They let the clock run down to, I don't know, just a few seconds before throwing an incomplete pass on the last play of the game. Classic Bears. And just like that, the Lions walked away with a 23-20 win. Though it didn't exactly feel like a victory for them, it felt more like the Bears giving it away. But hey, you take the wins however you get them, right? First half. Lions put on a clinic. Alright, let's back up a bit and talk about how we got here. The Lions came out swinging in the first half. And honestly, they made the Bears look like they were playing in a different weight class. Detroit's offense was absolutely on fire, outgaining the Bears 214-11 in the first quarter alone. Yes, you heard that right. 11 yards for the Bears in the first quarter. At one point, the Lions had 15 first downs, 15, in just one quarter of football. The Bears? 0. Zilch. Nada. Jared Goff was tossing the ball around like it was a practice session. And by the time the second quarter rolled around, he had connected with Sam Laporta for a touchdown, putting the Lions up 10-0. Meanwhile, the Bears were barely moving the ball, failing to get a first down until 51 seconds left in the first half. It wasn't so much that the Bears were playing poorly, it was just that the Lions' defense was everywhere, making life miserable for Caleb Williams and the entire Chicago offense. By halftime, the Lions had 279 yards of offense. And the Bears? A mere 53. It looked like Detroit was on track for a blowout. But hold up, the Bears aren't dead yet. Now, before you start thinking the Bears were done and dusted, let's give them some credit. They didn't just roll over. Sure, they were playing like they just had too much turkey and gravy. But in the second half, something woke up. Caleb Williams started finding his rhythm, hitting Keenan Allen for a touchdown early in the third quarter, cutting the Lions' lead to 16-7. And despite some hiccups, like a fumble by Jahmyr Gibbs that gave the Bears a golden opportunity deep in Detroit territory, the Lions stayed ahead, 16-0 at halftime. But it wasn't smooth sailing. After a questionable horse collar penalty on the Lions, they gave up a second touchdown to Laporta, putting the Lions up 23-7. But the Bears weren't about to go quietly into the night. Caleb Williams started to look like the future of the franchise, even though he's still a rookie, making some solid throws, including a 31-yard touchdown pass to DJ Moore with 5:36 left in the game. Just like that, the Bears were only down by 3. And suddenly the Lions had to start sweating. The Bears' final disaster. Now, here's where things got really interesting, or should I say, really messy? The Bears forced a Lions punt. And with 2 minutes left, they were starting to march down the field. But, plot twist, it wasn't the Lions who would crumble under pressure. It was the Bears. The clock was ticking, and with every passing second, it looked like Chicago had no idea what they were doing. First, a penalty on a potential first down throw to DJ Moore put the Bears in a very awkward 4th and 14 situation. And then, as the clock was winding down, the Bears' rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, couldn't get the play off in time. When the ball was finally snapped, there were just 6 seconds left. Williams had no time to make a decision and threw a prayer downfield, which, you guessed it, was incomplete. A win for the Lions? Sure, but after everything that went wrong for the Bears at the end, it felt more like a gift than anything. What's next? For the Lions, They leave Thanksgiving Day with a win, and an 11-1 record that has them chasing that coveted #1 seed in the NFC playoffs. Sure, they didn't play their best ball in the second half, but they still came through when it counted. As for the Bears, well, head coach Matt Eberflus is probably sweating bullets this week after his team managed to botch that game-ending sequence in the most spectacular way possible. So, as we head into Week 14, the Lions are still looking like a Super Bowl contender. And the Bears, well, they've got a lot of soul-searching to do. Closing. Alright, folks, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed that rollercoaster ride of a game, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow football fans. And let us know in the comments, was it the Lions' dominance? Or was it the Bears completely losing their minds at the end? Either way, we'll see you next time. And don't forget,
hey everyone,
Turkey Day might
welcome
be
back
over,
to the channel,
but the NFL
where we talk
season
all
is
things
far from
NFL,
done, and sometimes all the chaotic moments in football that make us shake our heads. Speaking of chaos, let's dive into a game that perfectly exemplifies how a team can somehow manage to pull a Bears, yes. We're talking about the Thanksgiving disaster that was the Chicago Bears' loss to the Detroit Lions. Get your popcorn ready, because this one is a real head-scratcher. Matt Eberflus. I like what we did there, really. Coach? First off, the Bears had a golden chance to send this game into overtime. With 46 seconds left, 1st and 10 at the Detroit 25-yard line, and 2 timeouts. What could go wrong? Well, a lot, apparently. The Bears lost 16 yards in just 3 plays. Yep, you heard that right. 16 yards. Like trying to get from the couch to the fridge in 30 seconds only to trip over the dog. In case you missed it, the game ended with a sacked quarterback, a failed downfield pass, and a timeout that was left sitting there like a sad slice of pumpkin pie no one bothered to eat. Now, Matt Eberflus, the head coach, was asked about this final sequence because, well, what else was there to discuss after that? And his answer? Drumroll, please. He said, I like what we did there. Yep, you read that correctly. He was asked repeatedly why the Bears didn't call their final timeout. And his explanation was something like this. We were hoping to throw it in bounds and then call a timeout after we gained a few more yards for a game-tying field goal. In theory, that sounds okay, but let's be real. When you're under 10 seconds and you've got 0 timeouts left and no time to spare, hoping for a miracle isn't exactly a strategy. The chaos of no timeout. Now, this whole scenario unfolded like a slow-motion car crash. After Caleb Williams took a sack, the Bears had 32 seconds left and needed a miracle to make anything happen. Instead of calling a timeout, Eberflus thought it was best to let the play run. It wasn't until there were 7 seconds left that he finally realized the field goal attempt wasn't happening. And the game was over. This brings up the age-old question, why not use that timeout? DJ Moore, one of the Bears' star receivers, had this to say about the chaos. I don't know why we didn't call a timeout. DJ also went on to say, with some frustration, that the team keeps putting themselves in these situations. We just the bed, asterisk. Oof, DJ, we feel you. The Bears have had their fair share of messy end-of-game moments this season. And this was just another one to add to the list. Accountability, sort of. So, Eberflus was asked if he regretted how things went down. Did he think something could have been handled better? His response? I think we handled it the right way. Cue facepalm. But hey, give credit where credit's due. Eberflus did take full responsibility for the loss. I'm the head coach. I take the blame, which is true, ultimately. The buck stops with him. Still, the whole, I like what we did there, line isn't exactly the kind of confidence booster Bears fans were hoping to hear. Bears players, running out of patience. Now, let's talk about the mood in the locker room. It was, unsurprisingly, pretty down. Defensive back Kyler Gordon wasn't interested in talking about the whole end-of-game disaster when asked. His response? Next question, as if to say, I'm done with this nonsense. But DJ Moore? He wasn't holding back. We keep coming back into these games. But then we don't finish it off. We just the bed. He said, it's clear that frustration is building. And players are starting to run out of patience with this team's inability to close games. What now for Eberflus and the Bears? At this point, Eberflus is under a microscope. He's been asked about his job security numerous times, and after this Thanksgiving debacle, the pressure's only getting worse. Will the Bears stick with him? Will they make a change? That's anyone's guess. Eberflus, for his part, has said, "I'm just going to keep grinding and working." At this point, all Bears fans really want to hear is, "I'll figure out how to win these games." But hey, if you're Matt Eberflus, what else can you say after a season full of these gut-punching, head-scratching moments? Final thoughts? Bears fans, it's been a season of frustration and what could have beens for this team. Whether it's Hail Mary losses or end-of-game blunders, they keep finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot. The one thing we know for sure is that the pressure on Matt Eberflus is heating up. And with more mistakes like this, it won't be long before the Bears front office has some tough decisions to make. What do you think? Should Eberflus stay or go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Before you head out, don't forget to like this video if you love NFL chaos. Subscribe for more awesome content. And share with your fellow Bears fans, or any football fan who enjoys a good disaster. We'll see you next time.